I'm going to cover visualizations today. I'm going to do it in 3 parts. This is just the first level. And visualizations is the ability to see things in your mind's eye without having your eyes open, obviously, so it's when your eyes are closed. It's not the same as meditation because you can use visualizations in meditation, but you don't have to. Some meditations don't involve visualization, and a lot of healing modalities can use visualizations to help. So they're not always the same thing, but it is a very, very useful skill. The main purposes, I'd say, for visualization, there's sort of 4 areas that it can really help you with. The first is very practical. If you're in a creative job or you've got a project that you want inspiration for and you're finding your kind of creative energy is a bit blocked, then these visualization exercises actually are very good to initiate the neural pathways in your brain to wake up and to open some doors to get some more creative ideas. So that's a really practical use of visualization. So imagine when you're always logical all the time, then your brain tends to kind of close down its neural pathways so that you can't actually get to what you used to get to as a child. As a child, anything's possible. Our brains are more wired to be awake, creative, and then through life we get programs saying, nope, that's not possible. So the first reason we do visualization is it's a very good exercise for creativity, to help us open up the creative pathways in our brain. The second reason we can use it is for an emotional level, where we can take a negative feeling and through visualization transform it into a positive feeling. And you saw the video I did on the group on how that can work. So that's changing our emotional state through visualization. The third thing we can do is rewiring the brain. And this is kind of a little bit like the second one with the emotional aspects, but we can do it on a much deeper level, whereas society and other beliefs that are programmed into our brains can be undone through visual stimuli. And the reason we do this is because anything emotional will have more impact on our brains than if we just have memories on their own. So mixing in our senses with our memories helps. So we can use visualization to help create new memories. And the final one, which is the ultimate for us spiritual types, is the self-awareness. This is where we use meditation and visualization as a means to discovering things about ourselves, to access our higher knowledge, inspiration, and to get insights. And that's when you have to have quite a strong ability and skill set of visualization to achieve that. So today we're just going to start with the basics. Like I said, it's not necessarily the same as meditation. Visualization is just a technique that's good, whether you're doing creative projects or whether you're doing spiritual work, or you just simply want to reset. So as a beginner level, there's 2 reasons for doing this. One, you start off with building blocks like any skill you learn so that you can build this up. And the second reason is that if you're in an emotionally bad place and you're quite stressed, this is the first thing you should try to get yourself out of that before you move forward. So it's not something you learn and then forget. It's always there, and it's good to know the process so you can help guide friends and family who might be in this state. It's a good way to reset somebody who's gone into panic mode and get them back into safe mode. So I think that's the kind of summary of meditation and visualization that I want to cover. So I've got a couple of stepped exercises I want to lead us through, and we're going to pause, but only for about 10 seconds on each thing so that you can have a moment to try and do the exercise. I've only got 30 minutes, so it's going to be a real quick overview. Rewatch the video and pause when you need to. I think somebody's moving around back there, but hopefully you can still hear me clearly. So how many people we've got on? I don't know if Siran's on yet. Maya's on. Hey, how are you? Oh, and Wesley's on. Cool. So welcome to my garden, guys. So we've just given 4 reasons why we should do visualizations, which you can go back and look at if you didn't hear me. So the first thing we're going to try and do is a very simple exercise. We're using this beautiful cherry blossom tree, as it's still got its blossoms on. And we're going to try and study this tree. I know I'm far away, but I had to find the optimum place between the Wi-Fi router and the tree. So this is it. So you can see the tree. Look into your screens. I want you to really focus on the details of the tree, the branches, the intertwinedness of them. There are some birds flapping around at the moment, so enjoy if the bird passes through. Focus on the leaves, the flowers, the branches, the shape of the tree. So try and just get a real good image into your mind. Really pay a lot of attention. So I'm going to give you a few minutes to do that. And what I want you to do then, hey Tamara, once you've got that image and you've looked at the tree and you've got the details, I want you to close your eyes and recreate this in your mind's eye. So as you close your eyes, try and draw this tree exactly as you've just seen it in your mind's eye. Now if you're struggling, open your eyes again, have a look at the tree, take a bit longer to study it, and then try again. Now sometimes when you do this, some people see the tree straight away. Others might see a shadow of a tree. Others might see just tiny bits of it. This is all normal. Different people's minds work differently. The trick is not to rush it and not to force it and not to stress about it. The more relaxed you are, the more likely this will happen. So focus on the tree, close your eyes, and try and imagine the tree. And I want you to open your eyes, and if you've got a pen and paper handy, write down how easy that was. This will be our starting point, so we know what we're working with. And at this point, I want you to think at 1 to 10 how you're feeling right now. 1 being the lowest end, 10 being the highest, 5 being that you're kind of neutral. Anything above is a joyous feeling, anything below is where you're feeling uncomfortable feelings. So we're going to note that as we move through each of the exercises to see which exercise changes that the best. So again, look at the tree, concentrate on the tree, close your eyes and visualize it in your mind's eye. Don't forget to breathe. Breathing's always good. Take a nice deep breath. Let the tree form. And then open your eyes. Again, note down how you're feeling, and if it's a little easier the second time. So if you want to drop me a message to say how easy that was, so I have an idea. There's only a few of us, so I can check in with each of you. So put an OK if you can visualize the tree. If you can't visualize the tree, then just say not happening. And then I can see who's responding to it so far. So we're using our mind to basically create an image of what we're seeing visually. And this is the easiest way to get into visualization because it'll help us start the process. So has anybody been able to see the tree in this simple form? I know there's going to be a delay, so I'll watch the messages and they might come up for the next one. So what we're going to try now is we're going to add an extra entry point into the visualization. So different people respond differently to different senses in order to visualize. So what we're going to do is instead of just simply looking at the tree, we're going to first add a sense in. And we're going to start with the sense of smell. So I want you to imagine what it's like to smell this tree. Now you may have smelled a blossom tree before, you may not. It's actually not got a strong smell. But just imagine a smell, a floral smell, a perfume, something that the tree might represent. When you have an idea what you're going to think of, close your eyes, imagine the smell, and then visualize the tree. Cool. So Tamaya is saying her husband saw it straight away and she's finding it a bit harder. This is okay, we're going to work through because we're going to find out your entry point, your strong sense to work out how this is going to work for you. So use the smell, concentrate on the smell and then see what actual tree appears for you then. Cool. Okay, open your eyes. So we tried just visualizing on its own. Now we're trying to add smell and visualizing together. So your first attempt, some people said they can see some vague images and other times not so much. So with the smell, was it easier or harder? Make a note on your notepad if it was easier or harder or no different with the smell. Also notice your 1 to 10 marker if that's changed at all. Now what I want you to do is we're just going to go back to the visual one on its own for the moment. Now I know I've got some messages through. So we're going to again look at the tree, close your eyes, try and imagine it. So for those that are only seeing an outline or seeing it very faint, imagine 2 control knobs. Turn up the volume or turn up the colour to see if you can introduce colour, or turn up the sharpness and the brightness to introduce the light. So imagine just turning those knobs to see if you can actually alter the vision in your mind to turn it up, like a TV set basically. Easy with the smell, cool. And when you've tried moving these invisible, imaginary controls, open your eyes and then note down your results. Nice. Got lavender coming up for Wesley. He's already jumping ahead. That's cool. So we've tried adding some controls on to the vision. We've tried adding some smell on. I'll give you a few minutes to write down your comments on your 1 to 10 marker, whether smell was easier, whether adding the control volumes in was easier. So now that we've tried smell, we're going to try and add hearing instead. I don't know if you guys, can you actually hear the birds? It's like they've all woken up and started to sing and shout all around me. So I don't know if you can hear me with the birds or if the birds are overtaking my conversation. But obviously, wind blowing through the leaves is a sound. Birds are a sound that goes with trees. Buzzing of bees. There's a lot of butterflies around here at the moment. So I want you to imagine all these different sounds. And when you have an idea of which sound you're going to go for, close your eyes, imagine the tree. So focus on the sound and then see what comes up with the tree. And open your eyes. So again, write down if the sound helped more. Excellent. So the sound is helping, then you can hear them. So now see how well the tree formed in your mind's eye when you use sound as the entry point. Make a note, write down if it was better, worse, no different. Look at the number from 1 to 10 and see where you sit now on the range. So the next thing we're going to try is taste. Now, I'm sure not many of you have eaten tree before, but this is a cherry blossom because it is a cherry tree. It grows cherries. I've only had one batch of cherries, and I think all the years I've been here, I was surprised to find it actually did grow cherries one year. So yeah, that was quite a nice time. So I'm hoping this year might be another year for cherries. But it's a cherry tree. If you've got an allergy to cherries, then plum trees have a very similar blossom. There's actually a plum tree in front of me here. So I just want you to imagine a fruit that grows on this tree and imagine a taste that will go with that fruit. And once you've decided what taste you're going to go for, close your eyes, focus on the taste and let the tree appear. Remembering to breathe and relax. This is fun and playful. There's no right or wrong way for this. Whatever comes into your mind, let it come. Don't question it. Just make a note of it as you go. And as you taste that fruit, that's a pheasant. As you taste the fruit, then let the image of the tree appear and give me some feedback. So Nikesh has got sound. Tamea's working off of, I think she said smell. Cool. Okay, so open your eyes now and write down how taste affected your vision and your ability to vision. And again, take a counter from 1 to 10 and mark down where you are on that 1 to 10 range. And notice if there's any changes. It might go up and down. But we want to try for every sense we go through, we want to be able to have an idea of did it help the image and did it change the 1 to 10 number. Let me just get a drink of water while you're doing that. Okay, cool. Okay, so the next one's a little harder and a little bit more advanced, but we're going to go with feeling next. So what I want you to do is to imagine you were standing here with me. So welcome to my garden, come and have a cuddle. Imagine standing here with me in this garden. I want you to feel, unfortunately there's not much sun, but it's still very warm. I want you to feel the breeze blowing on your body. The birds are so loud, they're kind of like in your ears, so you can hear that sound loudly, but try and feel it instead. Feel what it'd feel like to be surrounded with butterflies flying around, bees, wind in your hair, and go up and actually imagine touching the branches of the tree and feeling what those blossoms feel like to hold in your palm and how light they feel. When you've got an idea of this, I want you to close your eyes, connect to those feelings, and then see what pops up for the tree. So really amplify those feelings. This is why I wanted to do this video outside, so you didn't have to make believe we're actually here, live, out in the garden. So you can feel it. Okay, open your eyes. Note down how it was to use your feeling sense to create this image. Taste helped. Cool. That was Radiana. So when you've documented how it is to do feeling, again, make a note of whether it was easier or harder to envisage the tree with the feeling on it, and also then put your 1 to 10 on how you are feeling overall. Okay. So the reason we did the 4 senses was because different people use different senses to connect to vision. Some people find it easier to recreate visions of a smell, of a hearing, of a feeling. And when I started, I couldn't actually visualize at all to start with. And it wasn't until I connected to the feeling of something that I could then start seeing visions and create the imagery that I wanted to create. So it's a practice, like I said, it's a muscle that you need to do. And it needs working, and repeating these exercises is a good way to do it. So what I'm going to suggest you do is take a different photograph, maybe one of a place where you went on holidays. Find one on the internet if you can't find the original photos, and then do the same with that. Try and find ones that are quite specific in the content. Don't have too many things in there because you want to focus on one thing to start with. And then I want you to do the same exercise with the different senses for different images, just as homework for the next week before we do the next part. So now we're going to try and do some creativity. I'm not sure how clear your tree is yet, if you've changed the controls and managed to turn it up on each of those settings, but I'm hoping we've all got a form of tree by now. So the next one for the creative one is we're going to try and change the colour of the tree. So we've been looking at a white tree, but these trees come in pink too. So we're going to close our eyes and we're going to see if we can change the colour of the tree to pink on demand. We want to know whether we can change the colour to be more brighter pink, whether it's a pale pink. Just let it come. If you had no colour before, you might find that the pink suddenly appears. The pink is more the colour that you want. It might instantly change colour, it might gradually fade, or a mist might come down over it. These are all valid ways of changing the colour. Each person will have a different way of doing this. So again, just breathe, let it be, no matter how strange it is. If you've got little fairies come in and paint it, let it be. Your mind is an interesting place and it's now going to be set free. It's going to give you some interesting images while it's kind of excited to be exercised in this way. Okay, now if you manage to turn it pink, try and turn it back white again. And play with the colours from white to pink, from pink to white. Cool. Open your eyes, document what you've done and whether it was easy or whether that was difficult to change the colours for you. Mark out of 1 to 10 how you feel about your energy feels at the moment, if you're feeling more joy or less joy. Now, colours are energy frequencies. As a healer, we use colour to help infuse certain qualities into people. So different colours will mean different things to people. And the colours are a way of us reading into our visions and to get insights. So just like when you have dreams, we can read into dreams. This is a similar process. And that's all we're starting to introduce, is getting your brain used to giving you messages in this way. Did anybody manage to change the colour, is the question? I'm not seeing any messages coming through at the moment, so I don't know if we've managed the colour exercise or not. So while I'm waiting to see if any messages come through, I'm hoping it's not a stuck internet connection, but I think we're still operating. The next visualization we'll do is again a colour one, but this time we're going to use colour and zoom, just like zoom on a camera. So I think everybody's still there. Can somebody give me a thumbs up just to make sure you're all still there? I can still see people, but there's a slow, oh, there's a response. Excellent. So I've just got one saying that with the colour, I suddenly felt a sweet cherry smell, and my husband could sense the could change the colour easily. That's fine. This is all information that you'll use, because this is the information that'll help you know how visualization works for you. So you may smell visions more than you may see them, and the more you focus on the smell, eventually the vision will start connecting up to it. Whereas your husband might actually be more of a visual person generally, and therefore that's how he can do this easier. So pick whichever's the strongest one that has the most reaction. That'll always be your starting point until you work the other senses into being strong. Okay, so let's try the zoom next. Blue, nice. Radiana's gone blue. You're jumping ahead of me there, but that's okay. That's good. So let's try zoom next. Excellent. Yeah, I think this is working. So again, focus on the tree. When we close our eyes this time, we want to be able to imagine in our mind's eye zooming right into one of those branches, one of those flowers, and getting a close-up look at them. Okay? So close your eyes and see if you can zoom into a close-up of some of those flowers. For those that are working with smell, imagine leaning in to smell one of the flowers more. You might find that allows you to lean into the tree more. If you've managed to zoom in, I want you to see now if you can just change the colour of the zoomed in area. So I want you to imagine on the zoomed in area, you're just changing the colour of that little area that you zoomed in on. Now I want you to zoom out and see if you can leave that colour where it was and the rest of the tree the original colour. I'm not going to define the colours now because you might be seeing your own variants of colours right now. So you're kind of starting to control where the colours are popping up. Zoom in, change the colour in that area, zoom back out. Now, I'm not sure how easy this zooming is because this is like we're going up through the layers of complexity. And again, when you were doing this as a rewind on this video, just go back to the beginning and start and keep going until you've got the first few happening easier, and then add the more complex ones on as you go. It's just constant practice with different images. So open your eyes, document how easy it is for you to zoom, how easy it was for you to change the colour on a zoomed in image. And again, out of 1 to 10, where's your happiness level in your emotions? Oh, we've got a bit of snowfall. The wind is blowing all the petals down. I don't know if you can see that. It's very pretty. I don't know how much longer I'll have petals on the tree for, but we'll enjoy it while we can. So yes, visualising easy for me, and smell and taste, yeah. So everybody will have a different sense that's stronger. This is normal. And this is why when some people try visualisations and they say, oh, it doesn't work for me, it's because you just haven't come into it from the right level and nobody's taught you that the entry point can be different. When I first started visualising, I couldn't see what I was told to see at all. I could only see coloured gases. So that's not unusual either. And I had to change my approach to be able to translate those gases into images. So like a fog is all I could ever see. Okay, so the next test is now to really up your creativity. If you've been able to zoom in and zoom out, great. Otherwise, that's just a place for us to start some more work on. So this time, what we're going to do is visualise the tree. Close your eyes, visualise the tree, and imagine it in the most outrageous colour you possibly can. So like I say, Radiana's already got there. She's already made hers blue. Now, most flowers come in most colours, so it's hard to imagine a ridiculous colour that a tree could be. But let your mind paint that tree any colour it wants. Colours, colour, just let it paint that tree. And that I do want you to write down and share with me. I'd love to know what colour all your trees were. And again, open your eyes, note down how quickly, if at all, you manage to change the colour of the tree. If you're using sense of smell or taste, then try and smell a different colour to see if that would change it. So again, you could use different coloured fruits, like switching to strawberries to see if the tree would go red, switching to blueberries to see if it would go blue. Play with the senses to see how you can create different images in your mind. So what colours did we have on the tree? Did we get anything really interesting on the tree? Purple from Tamaya, nice. Radiana got hers into gold. Wow, lovely. What did Nagesh get? Oh, he's probably still working in a minute. So each of these colours, if you were to go onto the internet, and believe it or not, Google is one of the main spiritual manuals these days, because you can simply say, and what's the spiritual meaning of, and then a tree, a plant, a colour, an object that you've seen in your dream, and you can look it up. So if you said, what's the spiritual meaning of purple? You'll find that it's related to the crown chakra, and it's also the third eye, and it's about spiritual awakening. Gold is a very healing colour, and we use it a lot when we're focusing on a higher dimension of light that we want to raise our emotions up. So all these colours are lovely colours. I haven't heard from Nikesh yet. I'm sure he'll catch up in a moment. So did anybody go for a kind of like a rainbow coloured tree, or a shocking pink, or anything else that was a little bit more interesting? Purple and gold. Oh wow, we got some nice energy today. That's good that we're all seeing the same sort of shades. And it's funny that sometimes when you're in a group and you ask everybody to repeat their visualization that they've seen, sometimes people have similar messages, sometimes they're completely different, but all we have to know is that whatever we see is right for us at that time. And if we don't question it and we don't sort of try and force logic on it, then just let it happen. It's much, much easier, and we can enjoy the process because it's fun. It's supposed to be fun. Nikesh, is that meant to be violent or violet? I hope that was violet. So I'll wait for him to answer because that's going to take a few minutes. Okay, so the last part of the exercise, let me just check the time quickly. Yeah, we're coming up to near the end. So the last part of the exercise now is I just simply want you to close your eyes and imagine a tree, any colour, anything you want. Again, use smell to start it off, use taste, use feeling. Imagine standing under the most beautiful tree you've ever can imagine in your mind, you know, somewhere special, and see what image appears to you. Close your eyes, really emphasize on relaxing, creating the energy. Yeah, violet, I hope so. So just let any tree form, any shape, any size, any colour, just let it come. And open your eyes and write down what you saw. Again, out of 1 and 10, put in a marker as to where your emotions are at this time. Now, how easy was it for you to spontaneously create a tree in your mind? Did you have to use your other senses to get to that vision? So the process we've been through now will have already started changing your brain and the way your brain works. You've just given it some freedom and some permission to be creative. And that way you might find over the next few days as you carry on these exercises that you will get sudden thoughts or inspirational thoughts that you might not have thought of before, because that's what we're trying to inspire here. Pink pine tree with dot. It says tired, I think, but I think she means pink pine tired. Pink pine tree. Might be a typo, but we'll see. So I want us to really kind of envisage how we've progressed from the beginning, where we started just simply closing our eyes and trying to imagine a tree, and what we're seeing now. So you can look back through your notes and see how it's changed. Look at which sense gave you a stronger image, if any at all. Maybe it was just the repeating practice that built up the image to make it stronger. Notice how your 1 to 10 changed. Was smell more relaxing than vision? Was hearing the birds more relaxing than seeing it? So look at the results that you've got, and these will all be clues as to how you will become as a visualize, when you have to visualize things, and what skills to best focus on to get you into that state of mind that you need to. Now, you could replay this video and practice again. As I say, on each of these you can pause and take a little longer, use different images, try something a little different to practice with. Nice, a lilac tree that took you back to your childhood. Yeah, this is how smells work with memories. You know, sometimes you only need one small smell and it'll take you somewhere on a journey. And this is why making positive energy with smells, feelings and visualization works so well. So what I'm hoping now as well is that at the end of this, you will have a very strong memory, because we've used all the senses of this tree. You probably will all have a very strong memory of this tree for a little while longer. Nice. We're all having childhood memories. That's quite cool. And this memory now is almost like a go-to place. So what we normally would do is amplify it. When we get to a good image of the tree and we get to a good feeling of the tree, we want to amplify it, make it stronger, make it brighter, make it more colourful, sort of strengthen the feeling of it to make it even more embedded in the neural pathways. And that's something you can build up when you redo this video. So I think that's the exercises for this first level. It gets a little bit more creative and a bit more interesting as we progress through the different levels. So I'm going to leave you practice this for the next week. And it's actually very good as a calming method. So if you've had a stressful day, you could do these exercises a lot quicker than the time it's taken us to talk about it. Just go through the little exercises and see what you can create in your mind's eye and let it build from there. So if you are interested in the next, I think I might try and do the rest of these on Zoom. If you're interested in the next level of this, send me an email. I put it in the link to, I'm using whitestarmysticcoach@gmail.com. Send me a message there, and then I can get all the email addresses ready so I can send out Zoom invites when I do the next one, which will probably be next week. I'm hoping I'll be able to see you then as well, so I'm not just talking to myself, so I can see your responses and talk to you and interact with you more. And yeah, I hope that's kind of like stirred the cells in your brain to kind of wake them up a little bit and give them some new ideas of how to communicate with you. So the intention with everything I'm trying to do, what with the group and this, is I want you to kind of feel, I just want to give you the energy to feel loved, supported and inspired. And that's why I'm doing these videos, despite not really liking being on video. But yeah, I'm still a bit shaken. I'll probably have a big glass of wine after this. But hopefully what we've been through today will show you how you can use your visualization skills and strengthen them. And then in the next session, I'll show you where we can take that to and where we can go with those skills. So have you guys got any questions? It'll take a few minutes, so let's see what's coming up. Yeah, for you guys that have gone back to your childhood, hopefully they're all pleasant experiences in the childhood. So enjoy that feeling and that comfort feeling, because we do need that support and comfort right now. I'm surprised we haven't had more intrusions from the wildlife here, actually. But I'm hoping the video held out with the Wi-Fi as well, which is quite cool. Yeah, exactly. Nikesh has just said, I guess you can use this for visualizing your goals. That's what we're working up to. When I do healing sessions and I'm taking people through a goal that they've come to a session where that they want maybe a new job or something in their lives, then I use visualization for that. And the stronger the person's ability to visualize, the quicker I can go through the session. Whereas if they struggle to visualize or have any doubts or any logic that gets in the way, then I have to overcome those hurdles first before I can then go into the detail that I need to. So that will be the third level, is getting onto that spiritual development side. So for those that came on a bit late, we said there's 4 reasons for doing visualizations. The first one is it's just a good mental exercise. So if you're doing a creative project like art or writing or anything really, where you feel like you've run out of steam and got a writer's block or creative block, doing visualizations like this reactivates the brain, opens up new pathways and gets you more active. And then you can just relax and ideas will come up. The second one is to change your emotional state. If you're in a very deep stress or not feeling very happy, then you can use this to uplift your energy into a much more... Ooh, sorry. That's a bee trying to get up my skirt. Yeah, okay, it's gone. So that's a way to uplift your energy into a more positive energy set so that you're able to get on with your day. The next one is for your goals. It's rewiring any negative beliefs that you were given as a child that we want to rewrite with something more positive. Like if your parents might have said, you'll never achieve becoming a doctor because you're not intelligent enough, then we use these sort of visualization techniques to rewire that, to make these things now possible. And the last one then is the healing, spiritual awareness, insights, connecting to our higher self. And the interesting thing is, if you've ever read things like Harry Potter or Alice in Wonderland, if you speak to the authors of those, or at least read up on the authors of those, you'll find that it's this higher connection, that they've used this visualization techniques to get these insights. They will say, I was sitting on a train and blah, 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 popped into my head. And that's the result of having a very good visual mind, that the mind can come up with these very exciting and creative stories. And as we know, those have gone on to be very successful stories. And you kind of wonder sometimes what made them come up with these concepts and the strangeness of it. Our mind is a very powerful tool and it has access to all this information. Once we train it, we can have these insights ourselves. Okay, I think I'm going to have to sign off now. So what I'll do is, if you guys write any more questions here, I can check in on them later, I believe. But I'm going to leave you with the beautiful view of my tree. And hopefully you've learned some new skills. So as I say, if anybody's watching this on playback, everything we've done is still valid. You can watch it as many times as you have to. And then, still add questions. I'll check in with it from time to time. And yeah, don't forget to send me your email addresses so I can connect you for the Zoom one when I do that properly next time. And not so much last minute. But as I'm so nervous about being on camera, it's like, let's just get it out of the way. Excellent. Thank you guys for being with me. Hope you have a good day. Be loved, be inspired, be supported. Ciao.